Pre-market analysis of 9th of July. It's a sensex expiry day. So let's look at what we can expect for today. So let me share the screen and I'll explain yesterday's price action, and then we will talk about other developments with respect to the ceasefire, with respect to the crude oil price increase, and GIFT Nifty, FIIs, and everything I'll discuss after that. So let's look at yesterday's price action. So if you see here, there is we were talking about these divergence much before, even yesterday also. So from here, after this, you started seeing a sell-off. They have touched the 24,500. I told you 24,500 is the level where they are going to definitely defend on Nifty expiry, but they just closed it and then came below and came till this low, almost 24,350, 370 level to close on that day. And yesterday, as expected, if you look at the pre-market, I've told you almost 150-point gap down. You got the gap down. There was an initial attempt to go up, but it failed. It just came down. And then they tried to stay in that range itself. And till this time, it was in the range of the first 5-minute candle almost till 12 o'clock. It was pure time decay. And then after that, you started getting some move on the downside. They broke this low, but again from 24,170, 180 level, as we discussed, that's the support it tried to give a bounce. But then came the Trump statement about the ceasefire is ending, and then it's over. Right, crude oil is spiking, Dow is spiking, and we have seen such a big, massive fall. Sensex have fallen almost 1,000 points also from here. So this is what actually happened. And then towards the end, there was some kind of recovery, almost 60, 70 point recovery. Now we are going to get around 60, 70 point gap up, which means it will be around 23,950. So 23,950 is where you're getting. That means if it moves to 24,000, we'll get one round of sell-off. Again, if it moves to 24,170 in case, but chances very less. Now think about this. The objective for today is not to go deep on the down or not to recover fully also. The objective for today will be to keep the market sideways, right? And that is when anyway you got a complete call premium on one side. With this, it almost all the strike went to zero, and just that the puts need to be stayed. You just need to somehow this inflated put premium. VIX have also rised and the market have also crashed. The put premium have inflated. So if not a recovery till this, if you can manage to make a recovery till this 975 is where is it opening, and coming to something like 24,000 itself, that itself is a great thing if they can stay around 24,000. Because even when I discussed yesterday, the price range is expected is 24,000 to 24,500. So if you can bring it in that range, it is very much comfortable, because call side it is completely gone from the top. So you getting it from 24,500, so 24,500, 400, 300, 200, 100, and even 24,000 will go to zero. So those put sellers who struggle, they will they'll be able to manage if it comes and close somewhere near 24,000 level, right? So this could be the idea for today. So you just may not get great opportunity, just like yesterday. In today's market, it can go sideways. So mostly if you are entering a trade, you may get trapped also, either on the upside or on the downside. The premium can drastically come down. Only thing that you can look at is 24,000. Once it comes, you can look for a small short opportunity. Similarly, 23,800, there can be a small long opportunity. Very small trade is what you can take as it is, support resistance trades. And once this 23,800 by any chance it is broken, then it can be a good move on the downside. But I don't think 24,000 broken on the upside, you will still get an up move. Rather, it will again try to go consolidation. Possibility is that it will hold the level. Now let's come to this entire story. What happened yesterday? See, 7th July, there were 3 tankers which were attacked using the drones and projectiles in the Strait of Hormuz, and I discussed that in the pre-market. And according to Reuters, all these 3 ships were, sailing near the Oman side rather than the Iranian designated route. And Iran have already insisted that only the route along the Iranian coastline is safe, which is coordinated with Iran. So the attacks, in fact, we can view as an attempt to, reinforce Iran's claim or Iran's authority over the shipping routes and the possibility of future toll collection also. After the ceasefire, after 60 days, they're talking about toll collection possibility. And what was military response from US side? Yesterday, I already told you there were some attacks, but I'm not sure about the areas, right? So US Central Command confirmed major strikes also. but we were not sure. But more than 80 targets were reportedly hit, which include the air defense system, coastal radar system, anti-ship missile sites, and more than 60 Revolutionary Guard small boats also. So as a response, Iran also retaliated. Of course, US base in Bahrain, US base in Qatar, Kuwait was attacked by Iran, and Trump have made a statement at the NATO summit, right? The ceasefire is over. So that's the sudden statement which actually triggered this move, right? Now, the question is, when the ceasefire is over, is it immediately they're going to start a full-scale war on Iran? Is the bigger question. If that's the case, market will crash further. If just that ceasefire is over, even we have seen this scenario before also. In that case, market may stabilize around this zone, right? That immediate knee-jerk reaction is what you have seen yesterday. But if there is a follow-up, right, aggression and further escalation and full-scale war is going on, then it is going to be very difficult for the market. Other because crude price is also going to go up. The sanction waiver which was given on Iran is also taken out, so oil shortage will be there. And if there is an issue in the Strait of Hormuz, again, oil shortage will be there. So oil prices, already crude oil prices going up around 6%. It's gone up. Its WTI is now 75 and Brent is close to 80. So Trump have told that the ceasefire is over and called Iran's leadership is come. And he said, we hit them very hard last night. That means made sure that last night there were some strikes, and we are going to hit them very hard again tonight. And also, threatened some this seas, this the Karg Island, right? That's Iranian's major oil export hub that will be seized like that, and also reimpose the U.S. naval blockade, which has been taken back. Now, what is Iran's position? See, Iran has not officially declared any end of ceasefire. Iranian Foreign Ministry, in fact, described US strikes as a violation of the June memorandum, and officially, only the US have stated that it has walked away from the ceasefire. So presently, Iran is not, but anyway, US confirmed. So one side, the major side, has actually confirmed, and that's what important is, right? Most important is that that's why market have crashed also. So Iran is continuing to take hardline stance, right? When US is attacking, Iran is also attacking. Iran is attacking on the ships on the Hormuz, and Iran is attacking the US base on the Bahrain, that areas also, and on the Gulf also. So if Iran accept US conditions, then the peace deal may survive. But as of now, that is not the scenario. If both sides now continue to take aggressive position like this, the peace process definitely is not going to happen, right? Apart from that, if you look at the Gulf countries, Iran's attack also have engaged Gulf nations, and there are countries condemning Iran's action, like Kuwait, Qatar, UAE. Now, three things to watch out for today. Simple: oil prices. Already, it's spiking. WTI is around 75 per barrel, and Brent is around 79. Yesterday, it was below 70, but now came close to 80. Second is Strait of Hormuz shipping traffic. Is it normal or is it coming down? See, the only issue, let me tell you again, if it is not passing through Iran's coordination, then only there is issue as of now. The two, three ships which are attacked, which pass through, the Oman's side, right, alternate side, without coordinating with Iran, that might have provoked Iran. Otherwise, it's getting normal only, and that provoked US also. Now, the third important thing that we need to look for today is whether the negotiations will restart. Chances are looking very less. But for what to do today's expiry, that is a bigger question. Just be very careful with the important levels, 23,800, 24,000, and it may go sideways mostly. There won't be any such violent recovery also, unless any of this, as I discussed, it happens, right? So if you look at again shipping update, almost 40, 50 ships are still passing through Strait of Hormuz on a normal day, 60. So this is very much considered normal only. There is a small dip only. So I don't think the negotiations will restart, right? So that may potentially take the oil prices above 80, which may not be good. And US market also have came down. Dow Jones is 1.9% down, S&P is 0.28 down, Nasdaq is 0.2 down, VIX increased by 5%, and now it is 17. GIFT Nifty is trading at around 23,975. So that is looking like a gap up of around 70 points. If you look at ADRs, HDFC is minus 3%, ICICI is minus 3%, Infosys is minus 3%. Wipro is minus 1%. So ADRs are showing fresh negative arbitrage. That's actually not good for today. And TCS results is expected today. Let's see. Bloomberg estimation is revenue growth is around 1%, EBIT growth is around 2 to 3%, profit growth is around 2 to 3%, total contract value that the TCV, it's around 9 to 10 billion. So if everything goes as per expectation, it's already priced in. Otherwise, there will be a problem. If it is less than the expectation, there will be a problem. If it is more than the expectation, it is looking good. So the entire focus will be like TCS and the entire IT sector today. If you look at FIIs yesterday, they bought. Despite such a massive selling, FIIs bought for 2,000 crores. Wow. Okay, so fourth consecutive session, FIIs bought. Fine. DIA sold for 800 crore. So both institutions have bought, right? The FIIs and DIAs bought. Otherwise, think about it, how market would have crashed. 2,800 crore institutional buying. So who took it down? Prop traders, you, me, the professionals and the retail traders have taken it down. If you look at open interest, now call open interest 52% added. Looking at this crash, everyone is selling calls. Of course, you can expect that. New put open interest is 18 only. So the PCR is drastically coming down to 0.81. Participant positioning also, if you see, clients 23.4% bullish as usual, FIA is 21% bearish, prop traders are around 2% bearish. So if you look at the summary, US says it has exited the ceasefire. Trump have made it clear. Iran has not officially responded, and that's why you got the move. Geopolitical uncertainty still remain high. Oil prices still remain started getting elevated. We are seeing the way it started. Now we are seeing the similar setup. ADRs again indicating weakness. Now, the positive is US market closed mixed rather than sharp negative like in our market. See, our market is like 2% down, 700 point down from previous day, yesterday's high at one point, because 24,525 to 23,800, which is almost 720 point down. But it recovered also slightly, just 100 points. But US market have crashed and recovered also. So and GIFT Nifty is also indicating 70 point up, which means a 200 point recovery is what we can expect in the opening itself, right? So these are positive. So mainly these are the things that I want to look at. 24,000 is the major resistance as of now, immediate resistance, and followed by 24,170, 200 level. Support, immediate support 23,800, that is yesterday's low. And then if that breaks, there is an opportunity. But again, it has to be provoked or followed by any further statement or any further action from US side. Otherwise, I don't think that it will move further down. So it can take support. If not, it is a recovery. It will hold on to this level, at least for today, for the sensex expiry. They just want the premium. Remember, right? That's how the game will be played out. Understand the game before you actually play the game. Otherwise, you will be the loser. So see you guys. Thank you.